Grand Rising. Happy Saturday. I pray everybody's having a positive, productive start to their day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. I'm here to pull some affirmation cards for the day for Saturday, October 12th. Look at that. Divine timing and companionship on the cut. Wow. October 12th, 2024. I've already done the daily devotion and the verse of the day. The devotion is uploaded. The verse of the day is uploading now. And then also the chakra affirmation for the day. Trust. Feelings and sanctuary. Wow, we got a theme going here. It's pretty much worked out that way all week. Sanctuary. A sanctuary resides inside you, no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath, enter, sit down on the throne of your own heart. Self-reflection, spending time finding out who you are, what you want, where you stand. Feelings. Emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, filling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. Thank you, Spirit. We've talked about this already today, and really a lot this week. Not being ruled by your emotions, but not hiding from them either. Like, just because you don't deal with it doesn't mean it's not there. And I could give a lot of like physical examples, like of the outside world. But when it's all said and done, I like the example that I gave earlier in the week of the conveyor belt. You know, we all have feelings that pop up, but we don't take the time to process those feelings. And sometimes we take the time to wallow in those feelings, but we're not processing them. We're not trying to understand why we feel that way. Whether it's something that has happened internally or externally, people, places, things, situations. I don't remember who it was that gave the example that helped me. But imagine those little like word bubbles, you know, like in a comic book. When you have a thought, when you have a feeling, see it in that bubble. Acknowledge it. Say, okay, I see you. If it's something that you haven't dealt with before, even if you can't do it at that exact time, take time at some point, make time at some point to, what is the word that they used? To reflect. I'm going off of the chakra card from this morning. Take the time to reflect on those feelings. Why? Who, what, when, where, why? You know, try to figure out, say you're dealing with a person and they've just been pushing your buttons. Well, why are they doing that? What response are they seeking? Could there be is there a purpose, or are they just a douchebag? You know, is this something that I need to process and understand? What are you going to tolerate? Are you going to tolerate somebody making you feel bad about yourself all the time? Are you going to tolerate being stressed and worried all the time? Instead of taking the time to reflect on those feelings and understand why you're feeling that way, and then figure out, you know, what you need to do to process those feelings and then send them on down the line. If it's something that you can do something about, if it's something that, You process it and you're like, wow, that was really an extreme reaction. Like, I don't really understand why I reacted that way, or why I allowed that person to have that effect on me, or to cause me to experience that emotion. Figure it out. And if you can't, then let it go. The serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can. If there's nothing that you can do about it, let it go. Send it on down the line. Send it up that conveyor belt to the divine, to the holy power, and let the universe take care of it. Because you carrying it around with you, first of all, if you continue to carry it with you, it shows a lack of trust in the higher power. And in a way, it acknowledges the lack of trust that you have in yourself. Because you don't trust yourself enough to process it, to understand it. Been there. All right, let's read this one. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So yeah, the path will show itself. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, if you stay distracted, if you don't take the time to reflect, if you don't take the time to process and understand and acknowledge it, you can pretend like it doesn't happen, but all that's going to do is hurt you and keep you trapped in that box of thoughts and emotions, to where they just keep spinning all the time. And that made me think of the quote about the rocking chair. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gets you nowhere. It keeps you busy, but it don't get you anywhere. And when we worry, that shows a lack of trust, a lack of faith in ourselves, in our situation. And if we're in that place where we're lacking that, why? Why are we lacking that? Why are we feeling that way? Why do we keep letting it happen? You can be in the same exact situation, but handle it two completely different ways. Maybe before you started healing, before you started awakening, you're in a situation and you let that situation consume your life and control your life. Then you get a little bit further down the line and you've done some reflection, you've done some healing, you've taken some time to understand it. So then universe brings that back in. It's like, okay, is she going to mess up just like she did last time? Is she going to let this consume her? Or is she going to stand her ground and stay true to who she is and until the situation changes? We always have a choice. Unfortunately, our lack of knowledge, our lack of trust, our lack of acknowledging how we feel, our lack of quiet time, self-reflection, that secret place, that quiet place that we all need to be able to find. For a long time, that was my vehicle. It isn't right now. But I can't deny that when I feel like I need that, my truck is the first place I want to go. It's my safe place. And we all need that safe place. Because a lot of us don't feel safe enough to take the time to quiet our minds so that we can acknowledge those feelings, those emotions, the things that are stressing us out, the things that are worrying us, so that we can trust our own discernment. Because if you can't think, if you're surrounded by noise and distraction, first of all, you're not going to take the time to acknowledge what you're feeling. And then second of all, you're not going to trust how you're processing it because you're surrounded by distraction. You can't focus. And when you can't focus, you can't feel things properly. You stay confused. You stay scattered. That's why I had to come inside. That's why I couldn't do my videos outside. There's just so much. It's Saturday. There's a lot of traffic out. I'm right by a main road, which, like I said before, I don't like that, but I'm thankful that I have a place right now. You know what I'm saying? Because My life has got me in a situation where I need a safe place to be because I can't be out there running the roads. So, so right now my sanctuary, my private quiet place is right here. And it's important to have that so that you can love on yourself, so that you can take the time to understand yourself, so that you can trust yourself, so that you can process the things that you felt, past, present, whatever, so that you can overcome it and let it go. Because if you don't trust yourself, who else are you going to trust if you can't even trust yourself? And it needs to be important to all of us to love ourselves enough to find that safe place, to find that sanctuary, to find that quiet place where we can process our life internally and externally. Whether we want to admit it or not, the external world to us very much affects our lives. Some people get completely consumed by it. I'm sad for those people. Thankfully, there might have been a time in my life where I was completely consumed by it when I was younger. But once I broke out from underneath my mother's fist, and once I got a car and I was able to leave home, I busted out of that box. I was desperate to bust out of that box. And I wish other people had that drive to do that. The courage to love yourself. The courage to find out who you are, what you want, the path that you want to take. I could keep going, but I think I've pretty much made my point. As always, be grateful for what you have. The big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.